Hi, Paul Sakis, Good News Planet, Open Skies. My life is Afghanistan's first female pilot by Niloofar Rahmani. Hi, how are you? How are you doing today?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Good.
Wonderful. Couldn't complain.
Good, good. Hey, and you're not in Afghanistan, you're here in America now?
Yes, correct. I'm in America.
How do you like America?
I absolutely, this is the stuff that I never had back home. One thing I really enjoy and I really appreciated is the freedom that each person has. When I say freedom, it's the freedom that you can choose anything you want to be in the future. You can choose for your own future. And there's no difference between men and women here. Nobody stops you for what you dream for. If you want to go to Mars, nobody's going to stop you just for being a woman. So it's an absolutely amazing thing to see.
And so back in Afghanistan, that was not the same situation?
Absolutely not. I'm sure most of the people in the world nowadays know how Afghanistan looks like, especially when it comes to the right for a woman. So a woman in Afghanistan is not treated well. They just see as the woman very low class, and any rights that the women have, especially during this 19 years, during the Taliban, and they took it away from a woman. Women cannot choose for themselves what they want to do.
Why do you think they did that?
It's part of the cultural, it's the men mindset that they have. So they just want to have the control over everything. They are afraid if the woman is in power, they might lose their spot for some reason. And I don't think this is this good sample for them. This is not a good thing that they do, because they can't take the right from a woman away and they think they're strong, because that does not show a strong, how strong they are. For me, it's their weakness, because you cannot, it's like humans, two hands. If you take one hand away with one hand, none of us are able to do so much. If two hands, we have two healthy hands that they're working well, we're gonna succeed in life. We can do the life better. And I absolutely not agree for what they do.
Let me ask you, actually, I'm an interfaith, all-faith minister, the Reverend Paul Slatkis. So I've studied all the religions. And do you think that this was based upon, I mean, and everybody has their interpretation of their own religion. I'm Jewish, and the Jewish community has many different beliefs in the Jewish religion. The Muslim, they have many different. The Catholics have 144 different thoughts about what it is to be a Christian, and so on and so forth, especially the three major religions that came out of Israel, if that is true. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But in essence, do you think, are the Taliban a certain religion, and you think they read into their, what religion? Are they Muslim? What are they?
As a good Muslim, thank you, first of all, for the question that you asked, and I always would love to clarify that. As a Muslim woman, all I see a Muslim culture and a Muslim religion is all about being a good person. Do not lie, do not hurt anyone, even animals, and just be a good person. Just enjoy your life and do good for the people around you. In my idea, the people that they are abusing the name of Islam, I do not see them as a Muslim. Just as any other religion, Islam religion invites you to freedom, invites you for peace. I don't think, one thing is just I'm saying is right now that if God just loved one religion, there shouldn't be other religion exist in the world if the creator of the universe is just one God. So I would love for everybody to understand those are not, they are not example of Islam. As we go back years and years ago, the prophets, their wives, they were nurses. They would fight with them at the same battlefield. They would be, treating the injured soldiers, and the women were working along with them the same times. And when I just go back in a culture and a religion, when I look at that, it just doesn't make sense to me why such a peaceful religion, it created such a big scary thing. And those people that, I don't think they are true Muslims.
Well, they're in essence, whatever. I'll say it. As far as I'm concerned, they're not nice people. And anybody who's not nice to anybody else is a not nice person. And we're good news. We're a good news broadcaster, positive life affirmations. I'll even add one other thing that I didn't see in the Quran, is the 72 virgins. I mean, I don't think it was written in that book there. I don't know who, maybe they had a different book, whoever thinks that way. But I didn't see it in there. In fact, Jesus Christ is in there more than anything. But it's right. I mean, it's not nice. It's just true, right? Am I right?
Absolutely. So this what you just mentioned, nowhere in Quran, nowhere in any book that this is mentioned. So that's why I'm just like, this is their own mentality that they put it in the book and they say it comes from a religion. So just looking at that statement, you know, hearing that statement, it just explains everything for you. Like, this is just their creation of whatever is in their mind and their thinking. But I'm sure not just me, thousand other good Muslims are against this, because we all know how many Muslims they kill per day, more than non-Muslims. So I do not see them, as you say, like as a human first or a good person.
Well, you know, I'll open also in some thinking here, since we haven't spoke really much about your career as you know, flying a plane in Afghanistan. But you know, this whole political, I'm a one world. I'm a John Lennon, the Beatles guy. I'm a John Lennonist. So I'm a one world guy, all right? And so, you know, unfortunately, I think that we also here in America didn't, in certain respects, help that scenario in Afghanistan. And I don't like to talk too much about politics because I'm not in it as much as others. I'm into peace, love, and hope. But I believe, you know, we backed the Taliban, our country. They were, I thought, our students are those that would keep us from the concerns when we seem to always have this concern about Russia. And so because of the concern of Russia and Russia going down to, this is what I was taught by a CNN, who, you know, they're into that news stuff big time. I'm not into that news stuff. I'm into peace, love, and hope. And I can't understand why anybody's worried about anything except loving each other. So because they were concerned that they'd get the seas and the water underneath Afghanistan. So, I mean, I'm bringing this only up, and I could be wrong. Is that so? I mean, America backed the Taliban, didn't they originally?
You know, like for me, even though being in the military, I'm not big on protocol, because I try to stay away from it. As much as I stay away from it, give me peace. But I guess Taliban situation, Taliban creation, it's all has to do with, you know, most of hands working together, because just looking at one person, you can like, they cannot support themselves by just themselves, right? It has to be some, and most of, as far as I understand, is most of our neighbor countries that they are supporting Taliban. And because I don't know why, they just do not want to see Afghanistan in peace, which is very painful for Afghan people, because it's over years and years Afghanistan has been in war and all the innocent people just got hurt. And this is really hurting me to even think about it, that why would you hurt your own people just because you're being abused from some other, from another people. So in my idea, like.
Well, let's go. So you, with your passion and your desire to help Afghanistan, because you were born in Afghanistan, is that right?
Yes, so I always say I am a human with no border because when I was born, that was exactly the time of civil war in Afghanistan. And when my mom went to labor, like they couldn't even make it to the hospital because of the war, and the building next to us just got bombed. So we were stuck at home, and I was born at home. And until nowadays, when people ask me for a birth certificate, I just tell them I don't have a birth certificate and they just laugh at me. But yes, I was born in Afghanistan
Okay.
exactly during.
And so at some point, you're growing up and doing your best to stay alive in that country. How do you like enlist? Here in America, you either enlist or you get drafted into the armed services. What did you do? And is this in your book? So we're going to be, this is actually Open Skies, my life as Afghanistan's first female pilot. And so how did that occur? And what was the dream and what was the desire to do that?
As I mentioned, I have had a very, very rough childhood, something that I would never wish it for any other child in the world, because I never had anything, even just dreaming to have a roof over our head. It was a big thing for a child because you just want to enjoy your childhood, especially being a woman. And since being a child, I was just looking around, like seeing how the women get treated. Even during the Taliban, I saw my mother to get beat by Taliban. It's the worst thing for a child to see. And growing up like that, it was very painful for me to be able, like just to look at things and not be able to change it. And, every person has a passion. And of course, my passion about flying, I think it just created on me since I was a child, because I was so sick of people around in this world, I guess, in the country or around me. And I just wanted to be a bird and be free and fly in the sky and just get away from all the situation. And growing up, I just thought about it, how I can be a pilot, how I can just do this. I knew it's not going to be easy, but thank God again for the US. When they came to Afghanistan in 2001, of course, things really changed for Afghan women in the country. They start opening the schools and things changed. Of course, another thing was they wanted to, over years, they wanted the woman to enlist in the military, to choose which way they want to go, if they want to go army, if they want to go to the Air Force, even though they can be a pilot. And, just Afghanistan coming out of this war, it wasn't easy for any Afghan woman to choose. It was the scariest thing because there was a still Taliban existence in some other part of the country, and it was still dangerous and risky for most of the families. And as soon as I saw that advertisement in the TV, I could not stop my joy. And I was just so happy, and I couldn't just, make it happen.
So is this part of the United States Army, or is this the Afghanistan Army? Did you go to the, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was Afghanistan Air Force, Afghanistan military, because the US played a big role for sure in our, like Air Force, Army, in any branches of the military, because they wanted to give spots for women. They wanted the woman to come out in the public. They wanted to, women go into Congress. And of course, because the US is financially supporting Afghanistan, of course, Afghan government was not complaining about it. They were like, okay, I guess we can have women in the military. But from their heart and their mind, I could tell they were not ready for it. They were not ready to see a woman in the military. But because it was the US suggestion and US wanted this to happen, so they couldn't say no.
All right, so they didn't say no, and they made you a happy woman to allow you to do what you felt was the right thing to do in your heart. And so so what's the next steps here? What's the book? What do you have in this book? What are you talking about in the book?
So the book actually is the whole story of my life, my family life since I was born, till I guess 2016. And all the struggles that we've been through, everything that, like as a family, how important it is to have the support of your family. And I think the only reason I survived till nowadays, it's because of support of my family. How family is important in our life, just because sometimes we take it for granted. And most of the time, I tell people, like, your parents are old, you better, just change the way you are. You have to respect them more. You have to see them more. Because from where you are now, it's not only you. Because the success in our life, it always comes from some other people behind us supporting us. And for me, it was my family played a big role in my life. And the most importantly is the book that I just want to tell for most of the people on the younger generation, especially, that nowadays the life is so much easier for us. We have everything, but we still take things for granted. We just think, okay, what should I do today to just be happy and enjoy my life? I'm not saying that's a wrong thing, but that's something very, like, you have to think about your future, about if you make one person change or change one thing in your country and your life, that will be a huge, huge change over years. And it's going to be like, if you have a dream, never give up on it, even though if it is hard. The difficulties in life make you a stronger person. And I would love to, at least the book will be some inspiration for most of the younger generation, that they have everything, but they just sometimes take it for granted.
You're inspiration for the older generation. Somebody like, I mean, not me, of course, because I'm not so old. I'm just a young little boy.
Of course.
I'm the same age as my grandkids. So, I'm very honored to get the chance to speak with you. I'm just mention it that I did one of the first interviews with the book, The Kite Runner.
My favorite.
Husani, a long, long time ago. No one knew who he was. And I got that opportunity, and we had a wonderful talk. And you're a wonderful person. Do you have a website that people can go to, or how can somebody buy the book, things like this?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, so the website is not up in public yet, but soon we will be announcing it. But the book is already in Amazon. It's for pre-orders, and also the publishing date is going to be July 6th. For
Do
sure.
you have the book with you right now by chance?
I do not, because it's not published yet, so it's going to be July 6th, but it's going to be soon. I'm very excited.
All right, so you'll send me a copy of the cover, at least, the book, and because I want to put that with it. And July 6th, I will, or July 4th or 5th or so on. Actually, July 4th is a good time for us to have this conversation, because you're all about peace. And July 4th in America is our day for peace. Unfortunately,
Yes.
most of the peace days in the world are built around war. Of which our peace day is built around independence. Independence from who? Independence from some people that tried to maintain and keep this country, but we said we didn't want that. Well, independence in Afghanistan would be the same story. Somebody saying, you're my slave. And so it's not good. We don't like that. We're about the peace day. And so I want to ask you one other question, but two. One is, anything else you want to share with our audience before I ask you one last question?
Sorry, can you repeat one more?
Is there anything else you want to share with our audience? And then I'm going to ask you one last question.
Absolutely. So just want to, first of all, I want to really thank the author that helped me, Adam Sikes. He has been very, very knowledgeable about the culture, about Afghanistan, and he made my life easy to make this book happen and get it done. And one thing I would just love to say for everyone, America is the best country. America is a great country, and just anything you can dream to do in this country, you can't. And now living in America, I can tell this is the land of opportunities and the land of freedom. And please, please never take it for granted. It's, as an immigrant, I would just say to everybody, this is the best country, and I would always be thankful for it. And I think the only reason I'm alive is because of the US support that I made it all the way here.
Wow. So last question, and thank you for that. We should all be free worldwide. Last question, we do this International Day of Peace. I'd like you to be involved with it if you would like to. It's the United Nations International Day of Peace. So Afghanistan is a country in the United Nations, I believe. 193 countries agreed to a day of peace September 21st. Now it goes back to 1984. We still haven't had one day of total peace, but it's been around and we've been working on it for about 20 years. We do a concert in Times Square, we've done something in Central Park and around the world. And maybe you can assist us in doing something in Afghanistan on the International Day of Peace, if you have any interest in that, or somewhere else. But you obviously are a peace person and believe in that by far, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to ask you, what is peace for you? Niloofar, what is peace for you?
Peace. So the definition of peace for me, coming from a war zone country, it is just to have a freedom of speech, have a freedom of mind, and just be a good person, not hurt anyone. Because animals just hurt each other, maybe just because to survive. But as a human, we should be so much more valuable and just live your own life the best you can and just be a free person and just be a good version of yourself and try to help others and do not create any difficulties for anybody else's life and just think about the better future. And most importantly, humanity. Always keep your humanity alive.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm inviting you to our Peace Day activities in Times Square, New York, New York.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And how would I say salam alaikum in Arabic?
Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum.
It's in Arabic and
Did I say it properly?
you did a great job. Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
Thank you so much.
We're all brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You're welcome.